My headphones. Sorry, folks. I'm live. Give me a moment. Amazing. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Right. Yeah, we're doing this. Oh no, something dropped. Oh shit. Okay. Oh, someone's watching. Oh, it helps to turn on the chat. All right. I'm just getting situated here. There we go. All right. Let's put the glasses on. Yeah. All right. Hello, everyone, to the Sacred Spheres. I'm Anastasia. This is live stream week 2. I had like a little preemptive, little uh, precursor trailer of a live stream ago. Thank you, Chuck. Yes, I'm getting myself situated. Get yourself situated. I have been gotten situated. Oh, Andy is here. Week 2. Yeah, so I had a little preemptive live stream. I think that was last Sunday. And then Monday, today, Wednesday off to go to the Hollywood Bowl to see Steve Martin, Ed Helms ran and get into all. And then Thursday, Friday, last week for our live stream of Palooza to kind of resurrect this channel from the dead. My name, after all, it's Anastasia. It comes from a Greek word, Anastasios, which means resurrection. So we are in a season of rebirth. We just went through spring. We have now come into summer. This is very exciting. We are here and we are ready for now week 2 of this live streaming here on the Sacred Spheres. I decided to wear my Boy Scout shirt, not because I was in the Boy Scouts or even the Girl Scouts for that matter, just because I found it at a vintage store and it's red and this is red and my lips are red and I've been doing these that's cute, comedic, satirical videos about being a walking red flag because we all have our issues and whatever those issues are, we show up with them, and unfortunately and fortunately they get reflected back at us so that we can learn and grow. We meet people, we end up in jobs where things are attracted to us because they're trying to show us the parts of ourselves are walking red flags or green flags that are beautiful and that you work. The parts of us that might be a little corrupted or that are radiant and ebullient, effusive, and that are dark and that are morose and macabre and too somber and also maybe too bright and too much and yet just right. So as we show up, the world shows up with us. So here I am again in red as a walking red flag, as it were. And welcome, most importantly, to Chuck, who was making sure I got myself situated as I am. And I might have to take these off because these are for distance and this camera is just too close. And charging my phone the last minute until I get a nice big new computer. We will be rocking this iPhone style. I got a nice phone right before the pandemic hit, and then we were in lockdown. And this is the same phone. I love it. Anyway, we've got Chuck here. We've got Andy. And yes, Joyce will most likely be joining us very soon. Sometimes it's hard to find the live stream. YouTube is very different than most social forums. You know, like I could post things like, hey, come check out my live stream. And it gets like lost in the shuffle. There's not like a clear delineation of this video is present, then this one, then this one, then this one. Like this one came first and second, third, or this is the newest one. I mean, yes and no. It's not as maybe user friendly in ways. Hey, YouTube, if you're listening, be more like Instagram now, like Facebook, or even TikTok. TikTok is actually very similar to Instagram, where you have a story, so there are ways to keep people engaged where they, oh, and here's the link, come to my live stream. And this is where the live stream is. Anyway, should you call me Little Red Riding Hood? Yes or no? Maybe I'm the wolf. Ah, I'm a scorpion. We do know that. I work with bear medicine. Oh, Chuck showed me underneath the Marilyn Monroe statue. Yes, he did. Well, two things. I'm going to go back to Red Riding Hood and ooh, fairy tales. Oh, that's a whole beautiful, rich, succulent, juicy, yum, 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 yum subject. But I feel like I talk about Marilyn Monroe in Palm Springs, but I will say there was a professor who would call me Red Riding Hood because I would wear this fluorescent red, like fire and red beanie with the little pom pom knitted with the crocheted, sorry, rather with the two little like tassels coming down, and it was fun. Even when it was blowing hot outside, I'd wear it. I was kind of known for that. I'd wear like Kelly green, lime green, like vintage men's pants. I'd wear like a netting shirt with like blue and Asiatic designs, and God knows what was going on up there, and slightly see-through. And then I'd have my fluorescent orange hair and then my red beanie. And yeah, a professor would call me Little Red Riding Hood. Anyway, yes, Chuck Dransfield and I went to Palm Springs over the weekend in the country, except we didn't go to the country. We went to the desert, and it was divine. And the desert was not that hot. Yes, it was under 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So well under 40 degrees centigrade, which is surprising for early summer in Palm Springs. And sharing all of our personal details, we went to a memorial service. But it was more of what is called a celebration of life. And that is very celebratory and extraordinary. And we had a blast. Just a viewer, they're like, I don't give a fuck about Palm Springs. But yes, over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house, Chuck and I went to Palm Springs, and it was a blast. It's so extraordinary living in LA, and I know we're the only place on earth like this. We are a unique place where we have mountains and desert and ocean and city and country and so much within a very short radius trip span, or within a tiny radius. So you could do day trips really easily here to all sorts of places. But I don't know. I don't know where you live, but I don't know. Maybe are there ways that you could do day trip? One of the things I've been thinking about is it's just all the ways that we can practice self-care and radical self-care, and how it's so unique to each of us and also unique to each moment. Because, we might be like, yeah, I want to do Wim Hof. I want to do that breath. I want to do not just the breath work. I want to do the cold plunges, cold showers, and like I'm 5 a.m. every day, and that might serve us for a week. And then, and that's good. It showed us whatever we needed to learn, and then we pivot. But I think at the end of the day, it's important to ask us, like, what is our highest excitement in this moment? What's bringing us joy? Because when we get that little dopamine hit, that's like, yeah, we do that. It then helps us to pivot. Sometimes it's called strategic procrastination, where we know we need to do this other thing, but we're like, but this is what's really exciting me in this moment. And you'll be surprised, like when you make that choice, what then happens that helps you to go in the direction you needed to go in originally, but in a way that's even more mind-blowingly amazing and even more productive and efficient than you could have thought beforehand. And yes, to Stasha's house we go. Some people call me STAZ. I've been in music communities, you would say, and in music for a long time. I haven't been really, well, I kind of was recording something more recently, and I've stopped for a minute. But long story, I've been friends with jazz musicians for a very long time. And people always struggle with trying to find a short form of my name for me, like a good nickname that isn't like a totally radically different name than mine, or too far off, path. So STAZ, you said Stasha, that was cute, like Natasha, which is technically a short form of my name. But I have had a lot of people, including jazz musicians, call me STAZ. Like I think of Anastasia the STAZ Pavlov on tenor trombone. Is there even a tenor trombone? What am I even saying? On tenor saxophone. It's up next on stage. Welcome. Anastasia the STAZ Pavlov, the STAZ. It sounds like a star. Or I am the star, the STAZ. I don't know. I'm the STAZ of this show. How about that? Andy's mentioning it is 83 degrees I believe you're in Illinois. Is it 94 degrees here in LA? It feels warm in this moment. Speaking of which, welcome. It's 10 minutes in. Welcome not just to our live stream, but to our happy hour, where even if you're not happy, you know somewhere someone in the world is happy, even if it's not you or me in this moment, but also, like I was saying a bit ago, we can make a choice to be happy. And that was a beautiful thing. I know that's kind of a provocative thing to say, believe it or not, because a lot of us, including myself, struggle with different types of mental health things like depression and so on. It's impossible to make that choice. But this was something that was very beautiful about the memorial service check-in I went to. This gentleman who passed on, that was something that he really taught and instilled in his daughters was light the candle, buy yourself the flowers. Like if there's something that you're putting off doing, just do it. Are you unhappy? Then make a choice to change that and keep making choices until you are in a space in your life that's a lot more aligned with what actually helps you to shine a lot more. I know that's so much easier said than done. So calm. Yeah, but I have 3 kids. Like, my guy, or, like this is my job. This is my medical benefit. How do I navigate this? Exactly. And here's Joyce. Joyce is here. And Joyce, we're kind of bouncing around different fun topics here, from radical self-love and self-care to Chuck and I going to a memorial service in Palm Springs, the nickname of Anastasia the STAZ Pavlov, given to me by a jazz musician. If you want to call me the STAZ or STAZ, feel free. But yeah, there is this very, very, very famous, speaking of Palm Springs, the memorial service that when I went to, there is this very famous statue of Marilyn Monroe that is extremely big. Woo! It is very, very, very tall and extraordinarily done. This artist is unbelievable detail of her toenails and the polish on her toenails and her legs and the dress where Chuck joked, it's like it looks like Marilyn had a lot of gas that day. Yeah, because it's going whoosh. The dress on her backside, of course, from 7-Year Itch, it's her, it's like she's standing over the grating and the roof, the glowing up from the subway, her dress, and there's her cutie pie little underwear. And this is such a beautiful and iconic statue, and was once apparently on the East Coast, and those people didn't want it anymore, so they sent it off to Palm Springs. And there on this 90+ degree day, there was Chuck, there was Anastasia, there was the 2 of us, and we got to take photos with her, and I got to look up her dress and do some of that, some finger guns, pew, 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 pew. And that was fun. I got to witness Marilyn. Woo! Hello. All I have is she's having in her full glory. It was so amazing. And Chuck, you're here. There's this same artist you were mentioning did another statue or something else that was equally as amazing. Why do you picture that? Andy, that is hilarious. Andy is saying instead of Marilyn Monroe, picturing the Statue of Liberty like Marilyn Monroe in that movie or in that pose. That is actually epic. I don't do representational art, but oh my God, I have a friend named George. He is amazing. He's an amazing artist he's an illustrator, but he does like very satirical and very political art. And I could see him doing Statue of Liberty like from that sculpture / movie. That I'm going to have to commission him to do that and maybe back at you with his artwork, because he is so good and he deserves the support. Yes, Chuck was telling on his channel. By the way, Chuck is like my brother from another mother. Truly, he is my chosen family. He's my best friend. You're my best friend. It's a childish thing to say, but it's a beautiful thing to say, and it's rare that you get to say that in life. But Chuck, who has his own channel, it's at Chuck Dransfield. He's also on the Oracle of Whimsy. He has a live stream. Sorry that I once messed up, but he has a live stream on Mondays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Chuck's Captivating Chats, I think, or Captivating Chronicles. I'm sorry, I don't have the memory. He has the memory, this is a great segue, memory of an elephant. This man will remember everything forever, and especially about old Hollywood things. So if you love anything old Hollywood, and Hollywood in general, because he's in Hollywood or Hollywood adjacent, his channel is for you. He's an amazing actor. I almost said lawyer. You're a lawyer. No, you're not a lawyer. Actor, writer, screenwriter, illustrator, historian, I Love Lucy expert, you name it. So check him out. I know that he was chatting about me on his channel. But yeah, he has an amazing show. And then on Tuesdays, he's with Whimsy, 5 p.m. Oracle Whimsy. And I'm here with you guys. Thanks to Chuck, we did over the weekend in Palm Springs. And I'm mentioning all this as a way to, plug Chuck because he has a heart of gold. He's a beautiful boop, 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 boop. Who, like me, can get raunchy and crazy and silly and yet be very pure and maybe puerile, but also, very knowledgeable about the things that we know. So we do have some overlaps, some woo, 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 woo overlaps. But yeah, long story short, again, I love telling stories, but I do this type of communications called circumlocution. Cicero practiced it. So I do this, but I always come back to the point. And the point at hand is that Chuck is mentioning in the comments how the statue that is of Marilyn Monroe in Palm Springs, which is in the heat of the desert, it could get to, in Fahrenheit, like 120 plus. It's insane. And that statue, it's made of aluminum, other things that if there's enough heat, they're going to start to radiate, absorb the heat, and instead of being 120 like the outside environment, it's probably going to be like 320 to God knows what temperature. And there was someone who got a little too close one day on a really hot day, touched it, and pretty much immediately had third-degree burns. So be very careful with the statue. It is a lot of fun, especially in the day of Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, social media, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, Snapchat people. There's like a long ass line to take your photo with Marilyn, but it is well worth it. It's well worth it to do a little dance, make a little love, and get down tonight with Marilyn. And thank you, Chuck. He also, or he, I don't know the gender of this person, but they also did a sculpture and statue of the very, very famous photograph of the nurse and the sailor kissing after World War II, once we knew that the war was over. And it's that very famous where the guy would woo and kiss the nurse. I'm sure. Oh, no. I was about to go in a I was going to go in a naughty direction. Not naughty direction. It was actually kind of a not what you think political direction, but aggressive direction. But anyway, that sculpture is also by the same artist, and that is amazing. All right, let's see here. Oh, yeah, that's a really good question, Andy. That V-Day couple, Victory, that looks like a vagina, sorry. Victory Day couple. Oh, we're in for it tonight. By the way, so I'll put a pin in that just for 1 second. I finally got my first troll. Well, not first. I've had people post some nasty things on my YouTube and different accounts. But this one was funny. I like this. In one of my videos, I've been doing these satirical dating reels. And this one guy posted something like, lay off the mushrooms. I will take that as a highest compliment. I've never done hard drugs. I am not that type of person ever because my brain constantly is like it's on drugs. So it is kind of like my brain is on mushrooms 24/7. So yeah. So as you see me in this kind of spirit, this is just me normally. In fact, I'm not doing, I know it's happy hour. I'm having water today in my amazing hydro flask. In fact, let's take a swig. Don't get me wrong. I had a little bit of fresh, cool, crisp rosé with my lunch because I wanted a little sip of that. It was lovely. It was the pairing was so nice. It tasted like strawberries. Because fun fact, I've worked in elevated cuisine and fine dining, so I have certain awareness about pairing and food. Anyway, all right. Yes, Chuck's live stream is on Mondays at 5 p.m. and mine's at 7. So it's like you could do a double feature. You could go to Chuck and then come to me and hey Chuck, here's a fun possibility. What if on your show you talk about something and then we follow it up with my perspective on the same thing? Ooh, how about that? That could be fun. So people could really do a double feature. I don't know. That's a possibility. All right. And oh, yeah. So there was a question about where the nurse and soldier from the V-Day famous photograph that became a sculpture by the same guy who did the Marilyn sculpture. That's in Palm Springs that Chuck and I just visited over the weekend. Were those folks identified? In point of fact, they were. Andy is a big fan of Chuck and his stories. Yes, he is the most iconic storyteller in my life. I like to spin yarns. Yarn. Oh no, what, something just fell down. No, I have a lot. This is my art studio. There's like art supplies everywhere, but including felt. I think I've shown you this felt. It's going to be hair on a painting I'm doing. I do weird sculptural paintings, but yeah, I like to spin yarns. I have a very Southern American, though my family's from the south of Russia, but and Middle East, Central Asia area. But yeah, I have a very Southern disposition because of how I like to spin yarns and tell tales. Oh, there's a Laurel and Hardy statue like that somewhere. That's very interesting. Joyce, that's so kind. Joyce says that she loves all the stories as well, that Chuck and I know a lot more than she does. Well, about certain things. My God, Joyce. Joyce is an expert in all things swimming, synchronized swimming. What is it even called? The dancing swimming? The swimming where you're... Joyce is an expert in that. I could not. This is a fun fact. Oh, you guys learned that I played collegiate volleyball against Miss Yime my whole life from when I was a little tiny girl in club all the way through high school and through college because she played for Long Beach State when I played for UCI. So, but my first sport was going to be swimming. I was obsessed with the water, the ocean. I was a very strong girl, but I love the water. I'm a 6-time water sign, so that's very cool. But yeah, I ended up having really severe ear infections as a kid all the way until my 20s. It's a long story you don't have to get into, but swimming was my first love. And I still am obsessed with the water. Yes, V is for vagina or victory. I'm just going through the comments because this is fun. Today, I feel like today's live stream is just like, do you need a jolt of energy? Do you need a little joy in your life? Do you need the happy hour that we're having today to be an actual happy hour? We're happy, an hour of happy. Well, then we are happy. And water is good. Water is the source of life. Water, again, is my essence, is in my Western astrological chart. How about that? I'm actually in Chinese astrology. I'm a fire snake. Yeah, I'm a fire snake. Anyway, Andy likes filtered water with ice. Yes, I prefer my ice. I prefer my cold. I prefer my water very cold. That's why I like Hydro Flasks. Not like I'm sponsored by Hydro Flask, but they just keep the water very, very hot or very, very cold ongoing. So if I'm like middle of the night thirsty, I grab this. I sound like I'm doing advertising for Hydro Flask. Hydro Flasks keeps the water hot or cold for whatever you're going through. Menopausal, andropausal. Want to go on pause and just have a nice cold refreshing drink of something, or heat it up. It's a cold day outside. Grab that Hydro Flask. It's keeping the water exactly how you like it. Cheers, my friends. Lordy, this is a day. Amazing. Yeah. Check out a photo of the other statue that we're talking about, the V for Vagina Victory Day statue in San Diego. Yes, we get crass here. We're pure. Life is short. Be silly. That's my vibe. All right. And yeah. Oh, fun. Yeah. So, Chuck's, he sent me a text, but I'm on my phone. I can't exactly show you. I don't have like an iPad to show you the photo that Chuck just sent me. I don't have a team of people. I'm not Joe Rogan who can pull up a video for you guys right now. Sorry. I know Joe Rogan might be a sensitive talker for some people, but you know the point I'm getting at. We are lo-fi and I'm loving it. Yeah, speaking of statues and all things Hollywood, I mean, I am very happy to have this, live stream more about Hollywood than not. With this channel, I want it to be a lot more about self-help and maybe dating fails and anecdotal blog like kind of support, like you're not alone. But also I've worked in so many industries, I've done so many things, and I'm very happy to talk about Hollywood. I mean, I've met so many people I never dreamt of meeting. Oh my God, I just had like 5 ideas of different stories I could tell you. They all just came to mind. Well, let's go back to the comments. So yeah. Thank you, Chuck, for sending me that photo. Oh, so Lucille Ball used to live in near Palm Springs. Lucy Arnaz currently, her daughter lives there, but once upon a time, Lucy and Desi lived there. And there are a lot of views and artwork dedicated to Lucille Ball there in Palm Springs, which I didn't realize. I've maybe just passed through Palm Springs a few times. I mean, I normally with my family we would go to Desert Hot Springs. So I'm from a Russian culture. They practice sauna or sauna culture. Like we even had a dry sauna in our house. So to grandparents growing up, it's very important to our culture. I would grow up with literally my great grandmother, mom, and me naked in a sauna, singing songs about the old country, Russian, English, and with chashkas, big like tubs that you just like put water in from the coals, create the steam, and dunk your head into. And so Desert Hot Springs actually has a lot of saunas and hot springs. Obviously, it's called Desert Springs. Palm Springs does as well. But a lot of folks don't know that the healing minerals, the mineral content is actually the highest and best in the world, even better than Swiss health resorts. And so a lot of people have flocked to Desert Hot Springs. It used to be a one-horse town, and now it's kind of like one of those yogi boho communities with a lot of famous people going there. It's not like what it there was like one vintage clothing store, the vintage. What I'm saying, like one thrift store, like, and then like a liquor store. People shooting out things in the desert landscape. It was rough. It was rough growing up going there, but I never really went to Palm Springs. And so this was so very fun. And Chuck is mentioning that Palm Springs. Oh yeah, I'm mentioning that because I didn't realize that Lucy was so represented there. And it's gorgeous there, the strip, so to speak, right? And yeah, so folks definitely check out the statue that is in San Diego of the V-Day nurse and soldier, not to be confused with Vagina Day or God, I'm so sorry. V-Day, V-Day. And because Andy's asking about, is there a Laurel and Hardy statue? He's also mentioning the Scary Lucy statue because in Lucy's hometown, where Chuck has his art is in Lucy's childhood home. He has, I believe, 3 paintings in there, including of the very young Lucy and the very young her brother. And yeah, there are some statues of Lucille Ball there, one of which is very scary looking. It is famous for being kind of creepy. Like a guy recently accused me of being, not just on mushrooms. All right, let's see here. Joyce is talking about some floods. Oh, thank you, Joyce. So Joyce specializes in something called artistic swimming. So she said that I know a lot about things she doesn't, but I sure as hell do not know a lot about what she knows. So she is extraordinary and also knows about and has worked in as a professional forever and ever and a day, synchronized swimming. Joyce was asking, what in Russia? I'm assuming you're referring to where my family's from. My mom's family is from it was the USSR, but it's now Georgia. They're from a city called Tbilisi, the capital, Tbilisi, Georgia. My dad's family is from, my brain just went, it wanted to say Krasnodar. They are not from Krasnodar. They are from Kars, there we go, Armenia, which was part of the USSR. It was all part of Russia, and then it all split off into, every area became its own sort of area, its own country, and it's been a very turbulent area for millennia upon millennia. And in fact, where my dad's family is from is now part of Turkey. It's contested, very challenging area. In fact, fun fact, going back, like I said, millennia, folks from, say, Rome, ancient Greece, when they were dissenters and very naughty, they would go into exile. Rather, they'd be exiled from the community. That was a form of punishment, right? Like we have solitary confinement. This is the form of that, because you'd be sent into exile into, guess what? That area that my family's from. So that would be north, of course, of Rome, northeast, or Athens. Oh yeah, I got some hearts. Hello, hearts. I love you too. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Yeah, so Yeah, so famously Cicero was sent over there because I mentioned Cicero and circumlocutia speaking because I exercise that. A lot of stand-up comedians do that. A lot of narrators, a lot of preachers, I should say, do that. I come from a family of preachers on sides from small ethnic religious. Sorry, that was almost phallic. Sorry, small ethnic religious community. Wow, awful. I'm the best. The best and the worst. Yeah, we're on my dad's and everyone's a minister, even the women to an extent, had certain giftings and callings in the community in a more sacred capacity. But yeah, so that's where we're from in that area. Because as Andy asked me, we're talking about the group of people I come from. I'm not going to name them because they are still very private, isolated. They've mostly been killed off. They're in the United States. There are only 10,000 or so of us here in the LA area primarily. I mean, there are definitely outliers like San Francisco, Kerman, Madera, Oregon, Arizona, and so on, and Orange County and so forth. But this group of people, diaspora, because I'm not a part of it. When I was 12, my mom left it. So I mean, I say we, but also at the same time. It's the group I was a part of, but not anymore. But it's still very much my ancestry for thousands of years, my DNA, because they're clothes they marry in. So the group doesn't, the genetics don't alter too terribly much. So, the ancestry just goes back and back and back. And it's kind of one specific family tree. But long story short here, again, another long story short, coming back to the point, circumlocutously back to the point, this group of people, they are in diaspora in Georgia, Armenia, Iran, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, Turkey, and Russia, of course, but more so in those former countries. There's even a tiny community in Mexico, actually, in Baja, California, in Guadalupe Valley, where I actually have cousins, apparently. So there you go. These are some great questions. Thank you. I'm having fun answering these and like keeping the energy high. So just, today on Sesame Street, we're sponsored by the letter V, or, like PB Herman, right? Ah! Ah! Bring out the felt hair. It's V. Oh, it's kind of a V. Oh my God. Chuck wants to see the statue of Laurel and Hardy. V is for Valentine's Day. Aw. I know. I'm in all red, right? I am in all red today, so maybe it is. I'm celebrating. I'm always celebrating love, even when I don't feel like it. Because in truth, not to suddenly get super religious, but God, or the concept of God, to me, it's all that is. Everything that is, all that exists is what is, and God is love. Love. So whether or not you like it, you're loved too. And I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. All right, let's see. Joyce is refilling her ice water. Speaking of water that's cold and ice, and the video is a sync. Thank you. And yeah, it is a live stream. I do have crazy fast data now and internet, which is really fun. Ooh, I mean, it's not crazy fast, gigabyte per second versus 400 megabytes per second or whatever it's called. Don't think I'm that technically savvy, just enough. But yeah. So sometimes it'll be a little out of sync, even though I have a lot better quality than I did when I first started these live streams. Sorry about that, folks. It was Pam from Pomona Remembers. Speaking of amazing channels and human beings, holy mother of God, Pam has an amazing channel called Pomona's, and she commented on the video saying it was like beautiful chaos when my video was out of sync with my voice, and there was like a green screen. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I posted it as a short. You should check it out. It's actually really funny. Dubbed movie syndrome. Yeah, that is funny. Actually, okay. Well, of course you probably know this, but you know that I lived in France. I lived in Paris. And when I lived there, I realized that most films were showed because a lot of the films there are from countries, primarily the United States. And so films are just like in America, when it's a foreign film, it'll be shown in the original language. Which is version originale, so the original version, but they're also showed in a dubbed form or format called version française, so literally the French version where they're speaking French. VF, VF, so V period F period in VF. So to challenge myself, sometimes would watch things in VF, but normally I would watch things in the original language, whether it was a French film or a foreign film in France. I'll never forget the Cronenberg movie Spider came out when I was there, and I was always trying to be super pretend I was not American, or if anything, maybe just from somewhere else in Europe. And I ordered my tickets for that movie, and I was like, I would like a ticket to Spider. Un ticket pour Spider. Un ticket pour Spider. Anyway, we are all over this today. I'm loving it. Godzilla movies. Yeah, dubbed movie syndrome. Yes, absolutely. Oh, Joyce, speaking of which, holy moly, Joyce has a channel. Joyce also on YouTube. Joyce, I do not know what the name of your channel is. If you want to put it in the chat, please do, because Joyce is speaking of having an awareness and stories and knowledge that I don't. She is an expert in astrology and tarot. Unbelievably gifted human being. And she has an amazing show. She even did my chart and Chuck's chart, and she did our charts together, because Chuck and I are like twins from another mother. I mean, literally, he's ascended to my descendant. I'm ascended to his descendant. Like, I mean, we are going through almost the same thing all the time. We are one and the same person. It's wild. Let's see here. All right, this chat is popping. We are pop like popcorn. Speaking of which, ArcLight Cinemas Hollywood, where I used to work, we had the best popcorn, and we used real butter. And it was free when you worked. A lot of us were actors who were starving, literally couldn't afford to eat, but we could eat popcorn. So most of my calories came from real butter at that time. And we would walk up and down so many flights of stairs. I'd probably put in at least 10 to 15 miles a day, 50 flights of stairs. Oh, shoot. Those are the days. So fun. All right. 5 paintings. Some got 5 paintings. Yeah, I wish you could post the photo in the chat. We'll figure this out. We'll do this more like a podcast, I think, at some point, where we'll have like, sorry, that's very phallic again. We will hold all this instead. We'll have, have microphones. You know, even with the little fluff and the little screen, you know, the little, well, proper equipment, proper, yeah, like computers and things and cameras, and it's going to be fun. But for now, I mean, God for iPhones, you know, thank you, Steve Jobs, and all the people you hired to do your dirty work and get the credit for them. Jesus Christ. Boyfriend. Oh, shit. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Sorry, that just put a bummer in my little vibe and my freestyling flow. There's a Walt Disney statue Andy's mentioning. Oh, Joyce could teach anyone how to swim. That's really sweet. Fearful adults who need to learn how to swim was one of your specialties. Very cool. VD, yes. Don't get a don't get a VD on VD. Viral disease, yeah. Wow, we're just crazy fast. I'm crazy fast. Should be my stripper name. Or just a new T-shirt. I was watching Matteo Lane, amazing, funny comedian, very funny, very Italian. He speaks a lot of languages. He also speaks some French, but yeah, he, instead of Crazy Fast Data, my stripper name, he was mentioning Craigslist whore. That is also another T-shirt I could wear. Where is Pam? I don't know. Hopefully Pam is here. For some reason, my videos cause your TV to scroll, because I'm just moving, so because I'm Crazy Fast Data. God, that's not that funny. That's okay. Joyce, oh my God, follow Joyce, Mystic Soul Insights. She's so good. I know a lot of amazing astrologers. She is like of the astrologers I know in person, there are only 2 that I would be like, I'm going to them. And Joyce is the one I go to before the other one, just because Joyce is a very caring, nurturing mother, grandmother, and a woman. The other one is a much younger man who's also very talented. He's a friend of mine. I met, he's a jazz musician, but if I want to feel not just, if I want to get not just the information and the accuracy of her readings, but also the warmth and love and nurturing of Joyce and her mothering and grandmothering I don't know if you're there, but yeah, that spirit you embody is so special. Hopefully, get your channel rolling again, because I could send. We need to send you some folks who need their charts done, because what you offer is so deeply insightful. So thank you for your work. Thank you for doing. Thank you for being of service. Yes. Chuck is reminding me, as I mentioned earlier. Yeah, we were guests on her show. Yay! Thank you for subscribing, Andy, to Joyce, and also don't forget Pomona remembers. That's Pam's show, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ding 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 ding. That's again. Sorry, the man in the boat. The clitoris. Sorry. I mean, don't demonetize. Don't take me off. Please don't take off of it or Instagram. Where are we? We're on YouTube right now. Okay, YouTube. Sorry, I'm so dirty. Yeah, don't forget to hit the bell thingy. Yeah, y'all come. Okay, stop it. Sorry, I need to censor myself. So if you hit the bell thing, you'll actually know when I have a live stream, because I don't get YouTube. Like if I go like I remember like Chuck, I was like, oh, Chuck's going live, and I go to his channel. I'm like, where the hell is the video? Like, how do I know? Like I literally have come here. I didn't get a link. I want to see him, and it's like, why is YouTube making it so hard for me to find where the living F the, the video is? Oh yeah, Andy, you probably just heard me say this to answer your question. Yeah, Pam's channel is Pomona, Pomona. There's even a university, Cal Poly Pomona. Woo, that's a painful subject. Anyway, Pomona remembers, Pomona, Pom like Mary Pickford, who co-funded the Hollywood Roosevelt. On like Nancy Sinatra, like these boots are made for walking. At my restaurant, we had a Frank Sinatra booth, which that people loved. Frank did not sit in it. I made up a story about Frank Sinatra, who did come through the hotel, never sat in that table, but people loved it. And loved that the booth was called a Frank Sinatra booth. It was near an exit. You could Irish goodbye. You had your backs to the walls in a corner. It was private. You could, people wouldn't realize you were there. Anyway, P-O-M like Mary, O-N like Nancy, A, Pomona remembers. This is, I don't even know what today is, but this is so fun. I am having a blast with you guys. This is truly a happy hour. We are having happy times. So yeah, Pomona remembers, Andy. Andy can also teach people how to swim by jumping into the water and doggy paddling and not drowning. Oh, Joyce says her TV is buffering with my videos and just my videos. That's a bummer, because I literally have paid for like the world's highest, like, you know, I'm crazy fast data, like a used car salesman. Crazy good deals, crazy fast data, crazy. It's crazy. Okay. Yes, the planets tell us all. Ooh, Andy just subscribed to subscribed to P for that. And Chuck is saying, it's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday when I don't have to run day. It's just another manic Monday. And you thought I wasn't going to sing for you today. The planets recently said, Joyce, that the planets tell us all. They've been lining up and forming a kite and a T-square. What did they put in my water? I don't know. I had some brie cheese earlier, little chicken. I had to get my chicken in. I had water. I took a nice walk. I recorded a 7-part series about being an anxious avoidant in recovery who was recently ghosted and destroyed by I just said that wrong. I fucked that all up. Maybe I'm excited because I took a nice walk in Los Feliz, got a lot of tea, a lot of sun, set my tatas off. I don't want to cuss too much. I need to stay in business here. Anyway, yeah, so I recorded a 7-part series. Each video is 3 minutes, so there'll be on being an anxious attachment style. There we go. Severely anxiously attached. I can get this right. Oh my God. Severely anxiously attached in recovery, who recently was dating a severely dismissively avoidantly attached. I don't even know how to speak this grammar. Yes, anxious attached in recovery, dating a dismissive avoidant attachment style in not in recovery. Going hell and back, and lots of learnings and lots of love to share. Although I just loved what I recorded. 18 minutes. No, I did that wrong. 6 times 3 is 21. Well, it was originally 18. I only did 6, and then I did another one. 21 minutes. And then I go on to Instagram and find a reel of a lady within like 2 minutes or less do exactly what I did in those 21 minutes, 2 minutes, and like better. But it's not that it's better or worse. It's just that it's different. It's that I have a different way of speaking. I added different details and some richness and some interesting things. Spit it out. Spit it out. Stop the choice. It's tough being so talented. I'm a great singer. You love the bangles? The band. I'm not. I was thinking of bangle bracelets. Yeah, I'm not wearing I sometimes those black plastic bracelets, but oh no! Oh my God! There were some really fun stories that just came to mind earlier when I was on my like rant. I was in this flow going down the river, and I should have written them. Oh my God! I'm an English major. I should have written them down. I did not. I might rewatch this and then maybe share them another time. Wow. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Bengals did do the song Manic Monday. Yeah. I feel like I just went, whoo, oh, I got out. I guess I feel like I just got out. I needed to go out. That's like 47 minutes of me going bananas. I'm not on mushrooms, folks. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to be here. You know, it's because you are my OG A++ followers, subscribers, fans. I love you guys, friends. You're also my friends, and I love you. I love you. But yeah, when you watch these videos, in it, I think one thing that really popped out, I ended up going on this like, I got very preachly, like preachers, both sides. So sometimes I get into my like, that flow is very preachly flow. And I have to step down from my podium, take a step out of the sermon. But yeah, it's like, why the hell did I go through the hell that I just went through? And it's like, because I'm still choosing suffering. Why would I still choose suffering? One thing is because of how religiously I was raised, because there is a Christian mindset that we need to be Christ on a cross. You need to be long suffering, that it's very noble and virtuous to be long suffering. And it's like, no, Christ was on a cross so that you do not have to be. That's the whole freaking point of it. You do not have to be on a cross because Christ crossed for you. I think when I said that, I said crossed instead of cross. But that contract has been solved. There's no more need for the lamb, that needs to be slaughtered, and for the tribe, and or a literal scapegoat, a goat that is slaughtered to take. You put your sins on the goat's slaughtered so that your sins are purified. No, we don't need that anymore. We're free. We've been liberated. We've been set free. And I mentioned the now very canceled, I almost said Andy Warhol. No, Woody Allen quote where, there's someone in the world miserable, be happy. I can't be happy if someone somewhere else in the world is miserable. Kind of, so in a sense, actually, this happy hour is kind of a riff on that. Like someone in the world's happy, even if it's not me. So, because in the sense, it's time for me, and maybe it's all, notwithstanding, because, the world's like exploding. There's a lot of stuff going on. We don't have to get into politics. That's for Chuck and Wendy on Tuesdays, and Taco Tuesdays on the Oracle Wednesday. Check them out at 5 p.m. if you want politics with a twist. But yeah, the shit's hitting the fan right now, and we can find ways to choose our highest joy, our highest excitement. Hold on. Yeah, no matter what is going on in our lives. Because here's a fun fact. There's going to be suffering, like the Buddha said, suffering. There's also a way to lessen it and end it. Acknowledging that, yeah, there will be suffering, hopefully will give us at least a leg up on choosing when, we're doing something and making a choice to do something, to choose something that won't actually engender more suffering for unnecessarily suffering. However, nothing is necessarily unnecessary. Everything has its place in our lives. Everything unfolds into timing. Everything happens exactly as it must. Even as horrific as things are, even as unjust and as fair as they seem, they're always still as painful as they could, allowing us to experience our highest growth and evolution for our highest and even the highest of all, even if it doesn't seem that way. But, as I joke, or rather, Kyle Cease, famous spiritual transformational comedic speaker, says, like, there's a reason we haven't really met aliens yet, because they fly by our planet and they're like, whoa, that planet where you got to learn shit. That's a planet where you got to grow. That's a planet where there's pain and suffering. Yeah, there's a way to have a lot of joy. There's joy in moments, and there's fun and excitement here and there. But generally, it always kind of comes back and pivots and pendulates back to, oh God, pain, suffering, difficulty. They're like, so they, in their little, this is their little flying saucer, like, phew, like, adios. We're not gonna stick around for that. That's too much. Yeah, because this is it's hard. It's really hard. And yeah, for some reason I've been just so hell bent on my suffering, and it doesn't have to be that way. But yeah, even if we, as we're trying to do our best, and we know we need to grow, and it feels like we're being challenged to grow too much, there are moments where we can also ask for mercy. I believe that we have higher guides, spirit guides, folks looking out for us, including our own higher self, if you will, on a subconscious say, that they're there to help us out. Just ask for mercy. You don't have to grovel. Whoa, that is a loud, crazy sounding animal. Ah, whoopsie. I'm sorry. I pressed the wrong button. Sorry. There's a weird animal. We have skunks here. So I live in the city. It's very urban here. And yeah, we've got skunks, opossums. I have a new baby opossum here. We have tons of squirrels. There's a raven and crow that's outside of my window almost every day. Mountain lions. We roam in the streets. All right. Let's see here. Thank you, Mother Stasha Superior. Yeah, I got my nun on, my preacherly nun on. As Bobby McFerrin says, don't worry, be happy. Why did I hear an animal? I don't know. That almost sounded like a blood curdling animal's cry. I have no idea what the hell that was. It was terrifying. But yeah, we do have a lot of wild animals here in Hollywood, Los Angeles. People don't realize that, because we're actually surrounded by a lot of forests and that are quite expansive. I'm right by Griffith Park. Griffith Park has red pine trees, and it's a mountain, and there are mountains and hills, and it's where the observatory is. There's a lot of wildlife in nature. There are deer, obviously. They do come down into the streets. The mountain lions occasionally do, but more so the coyotes do all the time. When Chuck and I take late night walks, and we always see coyotes. Yeah, I see them whenever I'm taking my late night walks too, occasionally. Yeah. Did it go PU? Sorry. What, like Pepe Le Pew? PU. You smell, Frenchman. Sorry. Oh my God. What the hell is this live stream? Again, this live stream, I think today, I did write down notes. We did kind of, I think, go in the direction of talking about, yeah, radical self-care, just self-care, self-love, or choosing your joy, and how does it to you? And it's okay if you don't feel joyous, and if you need a change and pivot tomorrow, because yes, the hills are alive with the sound of blood-curdling cries of animals. But thanks, Chuck, for that comment. Oh, do I want to sing my Julie Andrews? The hills are alive with the sound of mountain lions in LA. Oh my God. Oh shit. Oh, my beautiful people. I'm looking at the time. We have just had 55 minutes of happy hour. Even if you weren't happy, hopefully you are now. Even if you didn't have, hopefully you have a little flicker, a little flame. That's the flame of joy in your heart. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna definitely re-listen to this, because there are different stories that are like popping into my mind that I felt like I could share, that would be fun to share. Oh yeah, the different people I've met. I don't think this is for today, but there are so many people I met that I would have never dreamt I could have met. And like the little girl in me was losing her absolute shit in mind when I met these people, or two different actors in particular. I think that, yeah, that is perfect. Oh, hell yeah, I'm loving that. Because we're calling our Wednesday live streams a hump, hump, bump, bump in the night, hump day live stream. I think, and obviously a pun on fucking having sex, hump day. But camel humps, have I? Oh, I haven't posted yet. I'm gonna post a video probably later today or tomorrow of camels that Chuck and I saw in Palm Springs, and advertising for the, like, a little promo shot for my Wednesday hump day, hump day, which will be our next live stream. So 7 p.m. Pacific is our next live stream, 10 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, hump day, June, whatever that is. Today's the 25th then. But yeah, I want to talk about unexpected kind of like crushes I had on different actors, actresses growing up, and then fast forward to working in and adjacent to the entertainment industry, being able to meet them, like, and have special, intimate, very personal with them. Just the magic of life, and what it's just so unexpected. You never know what's going to happen. I know Chuck has so many extraordinary stories about this, of like needing to meet someone and not necessarily being somewhere where that celebrity or person, because it's not just celebrities. It's like you think of like a really good friend, and then all of a sudden they call you, right? Or a family member, or how much you really would love to just have someone compliment you, and then you turn a corner, someone's like, "Hey girl, you look good," and you're like, "What? Okay." These types of things happen a lot, like when we really need it. And so I think that would be fun to kick off hump day, hump in the night live stream. I'm making a note of that. That would be a really fun story to talk about. And also, I've worked, a lot of people are obsessed with all things culinary arts, all things food, being foodie, being like competition shows, like hyper realistic cake shows, cake wars, right? Or Chopped, or The Bear fame. I worked in that industry very recently. That was my last position in that industry. And if you guys have questions, I think that could be fun to talk about that, because it is such a unique kind of sexy thing a lot of people are really into right now. But so yeah, all things sexy. Not literally. We're not going to literally go there, because I do want to keep my YouTube channel. If you watched my preliminary live stream, I talked about how when I had this account, I had 4 accounts shut down because of naughty, stupid things I did in a sexy regard, a sexy manner. We don't want that to happen to this account. I might need to look up more of the rules of YouTube, honestly, what I can do, not do, besides the obvious. Like, I'm not just going to strip down here for you guys. Sorry. But yeah, that Hollywood, obviously the entertainment industry is very sexy. But yeah, there are a lot of other things we could talk about. We have a couple more comments before we're going to sign off. Do I know any songs? Wizard of Oz. No, not really. I don't. I am not a theater slut. Even though I've loved Hollywood and films, and not really TV, which it was much more all old Hollywood movies growing up, and then movies generally, and TV only recently, and comedy over the last 10 years. And theater was not in my purview. It was like I did acting as a kid. I was in a couple stage plays. I even got the lead in a play. What? I played the embodiment of grace itself, like like dignity or love or compassion, like a virtue, like a literal trait of being a human, a character trait, were embodied as a superhero or human. That's what I played. I played Grace when I was 12 in a 6th grade, and I got a change in it, like a phone booth, like Superman into a cop. It was very fun. But yeah, long story short, I really know almost nothing about theater and Broadway. So yeah, we all have our specialties. That is not my Chuck knows a heck of a lot more about that. Anyway, yes, Hump Day with Humpty Dumpty doing the Humpty Hump dance. The Humpty Hump. The Humpty Hump. I can kind of dance. I can kind of move my body. My ex-boyfriend said I couldn't dance. But yeah, anyway. He just liked to take the piss and make fun of people and dismiss me, but It was funniness. It was funny fun. It was also comedic. It's fun and important to not take everything so seriously, yourself so seriously. Another fun, sexy thing could be, yeah, I do. I mean, this is a microphone. I'm very loud. You can hear me over 500 people. I used to be in a gospel choir. I don't blend very well. I need to be a soloist, but I've learned how to blend. But yeah, I'd have to like do this, to sing to you guys more. But do you want to? Should we sign off with a little? Oh, I feel like I should sing a song to say goodbye. I need to sign off. But Andy, that is the comment. I got to read this. Andy told me, is it just me or I bet you can pull off the cousin it look with all that hair? Oh shit. Oh my God. I kind of want to sing a song to sign off today, and I kind of don't. Maybe I'll start that next time with you guys. I don't know. Um, I'll start the might be a good way to start. I'll leave you this. We need a cliffhanger. I mean, come on, guys. So we'll start the Hump Day live stream with a song. It's a really beautiful song that Amy. It's a jazz song house cover. My voice is. I like to sing down there a lot more in my chest voice more than my head voice. So, and I kind of have a similar voice to Amy Winehouse. I'm not saying I'm Amy Winehouse. Don't chew and spit me up in the comments. Although, thanks to my ex-boyfriend, who was such a dismissive avoidant, I learned like he dismisses people. It's like a way to have power over someone, but it actually gave me a thicker skin and a way to come back and make jokes right back at him. Because I think that's part of what he wanted. He would like tear you down, but not to like be mean. He wanted to like have a sparring partner, like a comedian. It's called heckling or trolling or roasting. So yeah, it's okay. Roast me. I will jump on that. Yum, yum, yum. You'll love it. Yum, 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 yum. It will increase me in the algorithm. Comment all you want, my beauties. So tell me, how dare you compare yourself to Amy Winehouse? Anyway, I am. All right. Oh, love you too, Andy. Do I know this song Home from Wiz? I absolutely do not. The Wiz is a movie. I do recognize that. It's not just a stage play. And obviously, Wizard of Oz is a movie, not just a stage play. And I just decided tangent into talking about theater. Sorry for that. Yes. You love her rehab song. Yeah, and Amy's rehab song is great. I've sung that at karaoke a bazillion times. I also love singing Proud Mary. I'm also now starting this whole, I think, live stream has been an epic off-roading, rumbling experience. But I think there's still people watching us, but they're just not commenting because they're probably doing other things and just letting on in the background of their lives. Shit. I also have to look at my, I'm realizing I don't have 4 bars. So Joyce has a point. I might have been buffering because it looks like there might, unfortunately, because I do live in Hollywood, there are disruptions spectrum. So anyway, all right, loves. I am going to head on out. I will see you Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern for our Hump Day show. I promise that I will talk about some fun, sexy things without being too overtly sexual. We'll talk about some sexy, people I had crushes on that I actually ended up fast for. I would have never dreamt of meeting in the Hollywood industry, in the entertainment industry. That was like, they're very special. I will sing a song for you that I love singing. I've sung it at weddings. It's Amy Winehouse cover. And it would be apropos of a Hump Day experience too, because it's very loving and not about humping, but anyway. And maybe we'll talk about other topics like maybe working in the hospitality industry in restaurants because a lot of people are into food and I know a lot of people think that ghost stories are psychic gifts or all the clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, that's sexy. So yeah, I'm just seeding. Incubating is a word we use in dream tending, depth psychology, post-Jungian imagination work. We're going to incubate these possibilities for our Hump Day experience. It's going to be a freaking blast. All right, my loves, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the because You know what that's all about. And so, uh, and don't forget to prescribe. I am prescribing right now for your joy to subscribe to Chuck Dransfield, number one, and watch him on Mondays at 5 p.m., 8 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Oracle Whimsy, where Chuck is on Tuesdays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. To Joyce, I am completely forgetting. There you are. Mystic Soul Insights. Joyce, an amazing astrologer and tarot reader. You could see my chart read. Chuck's, ours read together. Unbelievable. Pomona Remembers for her particular brand of magic and mysticism. Holy mother, she is ridiculously talented and beautiful, amazing. Also a gorgeous and a glorious mom, just like Joyce is. So very nurturing. And last but not least, Andy wants to prescribe what I'm on, which is you. Oh God, that sounded very sexual. I'm sorry. I am on this roll today because I connect with you all. This live stream this almost makes me want to cry. It gave me a lot of joy in life and liveliness because life has been really hard lately. And that's why I did this, to feel this joy, to be in community with people. Because I used to get that from my job that I don't have right now. And from my guy that don't have right now, and my family's moved away, and I do have Chuck and other friends close to me, but I now have you too. I love you. Check, please. All right. Have a beautiful night. I'm going to see you soon. Thank you for being in my life. See you on Wednesday, my friends. Goodbye.